So, evening, folks. Pardon any sync issues. I'm not going to get this set up in record time. That's okay. Is it? Oh, it's so close. Here we go. Wow, does it remember? Okay, so, it just, you can't see this, but it remembers like the size of the chat room that I had, so I don't have to mess with that. But then the actual Streamlabs part, I only had to tweak a little bit. Good. That's a nice change. It's after 6 months or so. It's starting to remember my settings. Oh, what's up, John Rogers? How's it going? Pretty sure today's Saturday. Yeah, it's Saturday. Yeah, what's up? How's your Saturday? Pardon me, my chair's just a little bit crooked. I don't know about you, but I don't care for this -5 below zero weather. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? Yeah, see, the whole like the last few months, Lisa's been talking about the weather up in her part of the world. I'm thinking, wow, that really sucks. And then now we're getting like the freezing weather, and it's like, and it, damn it, it's okay. Yeah, I mean the heat's on, the windows are closed. I didn't have to go out, so it's it could be worse. But I don't believe I saw very. It's like not terribly snowy. Again, we're kind of getting lucky. It's just cold. It's not, like the damp, wet, blah weather. It's just cold. So that's fine by me. We can have a mild winter. That's fine. Get everything a little bit closer. I don't know why. Like I thought my arms were longer, but when I was setting stuff up, I'm not an orphan now. No, yeah, we're all in the same weather. We're all in the same boat. Nobody's wearing pants. We'll get through it. But then we got like folks over in say California, and they're wearing sweaters and long sleeve shirts, and it's 55 degrees. They're freezing to death. That's all right. Uh, Not gonna jump into the movie right away. This will be interesting though because I, recommended the films. Everybody voted on them. Cool. Sit down to watch it. And I was like, what? This is gonna be like what? An hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours. It's from the 50s. Movies in the 50s were not that long. And I pull it up and I'm looking at the time, and that I'm thinking that two looks an awful lot like a three. Why does it say it's a 3 hour movie? Oh, because it's a 3 hour movie. Like on one hand, like kind of like sorry if you're not into super, like that's kind of long for some people, so like sort of sorry, but I mean like myself, I can sit through a 3 hour movie. That as long as it's entertaining, I'm fine. But I was there was something else I was gonna recommend, not really, but kind of, because it was like 4 hours long. I was thinking nobody's really gonna have time for a 4 hour anything for this, so it's like, let me not recommend that. So I didn't realize it was 3 hours. If you did watch it, I hope you were entertained for those 3 hours. I was. I've been through other 3 hour movies where, I can't, check my watch enough to just like, when is this going to end? Oh no, there's another scene. Why aren't we watching the credits yet? So this was not that experience. It was fun for a film I'd never seen before. But let's let some folks fill in a bit. Since I did just I hopped on Twitter real quick. I see Arden said she's not gonna make it. She's got a friend from out of town in town, so she's gonna be hanging out with that person. I don't know if that includes Wally too, but that's all right. That's cool. And again, like these reviews always stay up. They're not going anywhere. It'll be here tomorrow. It'll be here next week. It'll be here next year. What's up, I bitch slap Satan? How's it going? But since this is gonna, well, It is kind of odd. Yeah, this review is going to be up forever, but if you're here, right now, it's the day after Black Friday, and that's something in the United States where everybody goes out and shops before Christmas because they think they're getting deals, but it's just to drive up sales to boost the economy. It's the biggest shopping time of the year, so whatever they can do to get your money, that's what they do. But if you're a smart shopper, you can take advantage of actual real deals that are going on. Uh, well, there's Cyber Monday, so like places that like some stores are just online. So if they have a sale, it's on the Monday following Black Friday. Or you have places that start their sales like on Thanksgiving or on Black Friday and run them all the way through until the end of Monday night. That's what some folks have been doing. I got up yesterday and I saw there was a tweet from Grace Still Plays talking about, hey, we've got some new merch and we've got a sale going on for Black Friday. Here's the code, go to the website. And he does. He's got some new merch. It's some I'm fine. And then in parentheses it says seriously. Cute. I did want that. I went grocery shopping, LOL. Yeah, yeah, that's the only thing I kept to go out for. It's like, what do I have to have? Cannot live without. And then hopefully it's not like icy when I go out to the store because I go out first thing in the morning. So we'll see. I mean, I got plenty of food. It's not like something's gonna happen. Oh, I bet Slap Satan say anyone know about an equivalent good prices to Amazon? Um, I don't know, but I have heard people recommend like go to the actual website for the products you're buying. Don't order through Amazon. Go to their actual whatever.com to see if you can get a better deal there. Try that. Oh, he's a great irritating stepson has been here for 4 days. He said he's going to stay for at least 7 more. I love him, but I don't like him very much. I've been spending a lot of time in frozen nature. Yeah, yeah. Ugh. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm stuck using Amazon myself. I have found don't do this, but I have found like bootleg Gray Still Plays stuff over there. Like yeah, for example, was selling merch of let's say Spleen's the cat. So and this was back in 2000 roughly. Uh it might still be available, but it's not from Great Still Plays. I'm not going to buy bootleg Great Still Plays. So the fact that it does exist, it is fine, but I'm not going to, if the money's not going straight to him, I'm not going to buy it. I don't need it that bad. So bootleg options are a thing, if you don't mind that. John Rogers, I got a good veggie tray at Aldi's. Been snacking on that. Ooh, veggies. I've been wanting a salad so bad. I just gotta pick up a pet of lettuce or something just to remind myself. Like I've got like the dressing. I've got like a bowl to put it in. I just don't have the actual salad. That sounds good though. I bet Slap Satan no Aldi's around me. Super country up here. I wish. Yeah, it's oh, Aldi's is actually it's like one store owned by two brothers, or it's like one store with two different names, and it's like German. So there's Aldi's, and then another one I used to know, but it's like a discount store. It's like a store that's like below a Walmart but above a Dollar General. And I don't I don't know if they have deals on there just because I would go in there to buy one thing, and their customers are so rude. Like, the bitch with two carts full of stuff will not let me, one person, go buy my one thing and paying cash. So, like, because their customers are so rude, I won't shop there. So I couldn't tell you if they have better prices than Walmart. Um, it's a store where you got to put the quarter in the cart to get the cart out. One of those. But I digress. Grace Still Plays is having a sale right now. Code Black Friday. It's about 10% off, it seems to be. there's no end time to that. It just says Black Friday sale. So I don't know if that's already, if it's still going on, if it's going to be going on all day Monday. I just have no idea because it's not listed on his website. It's not listed anywhere. So if you want to take advantage of that, do as soon as you can because I don't know when it's going to end. And then, quite frankly, is also having a sale on his merch. You can go to what's I have it linked in the description. It's like riseattire.com/quite frankly. But his sale is it's 15% off everything, or if you spend $100 or more, you can get 20% off. And I've got those codes. They're all typed out. Usually when you use codes, they're all in capital letters. So I just copied and pasted and changed the capitalization on the rest of the words and just stuck them in there. And I also tweeted it out. So if you do want, quite frankly, merch, um, again, I don't get any money from Grace Still Plays. I don't get any money from Quite Frankly. So this is just me wanting to share the deals with you guys. If you want to pick up some merch, I don't know if they run sales in December. And you can just say it's a birthday present. It doesn't matter if your birthday is in December or September. You can make whatever excuse you can to get some merch. I will say that frankly one is good because I was looking at the pants off Uncle Sam, and after the discount it would be like 25 and change. So for merchandise, shirts, that is not a bad price. It's probably more than what you're going to pay in a store for like a shirt, but this is merch from a YouTuber. So it might cost more, but it's for a reason. I bet slap Satan. We have 2 food markets within 30 plus miles. Yikes. And thankfully a greenhouse 12 miles away. Oh, good. Lisa Gray, oh, I've been thinking about that. UNT might have to take advantage of that. Yeah, they got that there. The UN is it a Peace Through Terror? They've got that. They've got like the hoodies and all that too. They've got that. And or you can just go to quitefrankly.tv and there's a section that says merch. And I was thinking, I'm like, is this like for every last thing or is it just for the shirts? So I went over to like the coffee that he's got. It doesn't have anything listed up there. Lisa Gray, yeah, that pants off one might have to be bought too. I like that one. I wish the gray that it came in was darker, so if I did buy it, I would just get it in black. And it's like a short sleeve, just adult t-shirt. They don't have a long sleeve option for that. I don't believe. Um, and then this isn't listed, but I did check. Frank did mention Yes Cacao was having a deal on their site. So I went over there to look. And right off the bat, like at the top, they're like 50% off orders. Oh, not 50% off. So sorry. It was, let me just go there. Here we go. Complimentary shipping over $50 at Yes Cacao. If they have any additional discounts, I don't know what they are. But then I also did want to mention Cultivate Elevate. They're having a Black Friday sale. And how theirs goes is if you spend $20, you get 20% off. 20 or more, you get 20% off. 75 or more, you get 25% off. And then if you spend $150 or more, you get 30% off. So they've got 3 different deals at Cultivate Elevate. And theirs is going on until it says Black Friday sale ends Monday at midnight PST. They're over, well, they're not in the same time zone as us. Pacific time zone? Because they're in Arizona, but Arizona doesn't do the daylight savings thing. But yeah, if you're interested, again, not affiliated with any of those pages, just let you know about the deals going on. If you're in the market for chocolate or pills that make you healthier, or t-shirts, or mugs, and gaming mouse pads. Trying to think what all 4 of these sites have. And I did place an order last night. So depending on when it shows up, I'll be wearing a different merch shirt. Well, see, I don't know because it is a little bit up in the air because Frank did mention again how his dad does do a reading of some Christmas story publicly, and it's going to be on December 7th, which is a Saturday. Still has not mentioned the time, so I don't know what's up. I don't know if I'm going to have, like, say, do like my 2 hour show beforehand, and then Frank's going to go live at 7. It's all up in the air. I wish I knew had an answer for you. Could there could be no show next week, and we'll just pick up again on the 14th. But we'll see. So I do have some new shirts on the way. So that will be fun to wear. I hope they fit because what I did, I got one shirt, I got just a regular t-shirt, and I got it in a small because it would fit me the same as this. But then the other shirt that I got is a long sleeve shirt, but the only long sleeve shirts they had were in children's sizes. So it's a child's shirt, but it's a large. But if you look at like the inches, measurements, whatnot, it's really only maybe like half an inch or an inch less wide than the shirt I'm wearing now. So it would basically still fit. But theoretically, I don't know about like the length of. I didn't even think about the length of the sleeves. Too late, it's already ordered. So I will find out together when that shows up in the mail. Uh, I did not even think of that. That's okay. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. If I have a long sleeve shirt, it's just something to wear like when I go out of the house. And if I don't want to wear a hoodie or something over it, I'll just wear a long sleeve shirt. That way, mostly everything's covered. I'll just get the like the tan at my wrist. It'll be fine. Oh, okay, yeah. Did anybody watch any good movies lately? Anything on Tubi? Okay, Tubi app. Yeah, they did update it, and now it's just a pain to look at with that. It just right in the bottom that scenes. It does. You don't need to. I don't know why it does that, but it does that. It's better to watch Tubi on like your laptop or your smart TV, something like that. Chat disconnected. Like hell. Chat reconnected. How about that? I don't know what's up with that. That's got to be a YouTube thing because that's just been happening the last what week, 2 weeks, eh, something like that, give or take. It's not you, it's not me, it's YouTube. It's Mercury retrograde. It's fine. Okay, yeah. So, around the world in 80 days from 1956. This is one of those movies that like it's always around, but I had never just watched it for like I didn't have a reason not to watch it, but I didn't have a reason to watch it. Like not to knock it. It's just that like hey yeah, go, I see it's there. I'll get around to you. I see you. I see you. Yeah, I see you. So I'm glad this did come up, and I don't know why, but it was I think it was a fun suggestion because I was entertained. So yeah, again, did not know it was 3 hours long. So I'm like, okay, well, I can. I've been through longer movies. I've been through shorter movies. Let's see what you can do. Let's see if I'm entertained. I wasn't thinking this was gonna be a bad choice. Like, oh no, what did I tell people to watch? So like, I wasn't worried like that. Like this can't be that bad. It's only 3 hours. If we could sit through 2 hours, quite frankly, we'll be fine. So it starts out, and right away, I'm sort of getting. It's like there's this guy sort of like telling us what the movie's about. Like it's based off of a Jules Verne story. And if you don't know who Jules Verne is, he was a science fiction writer. Watch the third Back to the Future. They'll tell you who Jules Verne is. And it's this fellow like just describing what's going to happen in the film. And I didn't. take note of how long this took, but I was sort of getting the vibes of those old black and white videos that tell you, oh, like how to groom yourself, and it's like 1951, or like stuff from the 40s telling girls how to like look pretty and do their hair and stuff like that. So I was getting those vibes, and I have watched a lot of those videos. So I'm like, oh okay, this is rather. I feel like I'm in school right now, but I guess I'm going to learn something. Okay, it's the whole movie can't be like this. So I wasn't put off. Oh, Lisa Gray, I have a date with my sweet 9-year-old granddaughter to watch It's a Wonderful Life. Haven't watched it in quite some time. I look forward to seeing her reaction. I don't know if I've ever seen that movie. I know Frank always brings it up, but I don't think I would have said I would have watched it when I was younger, but I that's not like the kind of movie I would have watched when I was a kid. Oh, Jenna, how's it going? Glad you made it. I would like to see A Wonderful Life just so I know what like Frank is always referencing on the show. Something about a guy named Clarence. So while this instructor guy is like telling us about what we're gonna see, they start showing like clips from older films, like black and white, like pre-sound films. So like before 1929, you can tell by how rough they are from just being black and white. And they're showing like a clip from a film, and I forget the name of it. It's one of this. They sort of reference it in the video by the Smashing Pumpkins, Tonight Tonight, that film. And like I know I've got it saved in my watch later, but my short-term memory being so bad, I cannot tell you the name of it. You'll recognize it when you see it. It's one of those kind of things. Oh, Lisa Gray, Clarence is an angel. All right, cool. Uh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So after they're done sort of telling you what the film's going to be about, like it's almost like a trigger warning, like careful, this video or this movie involves a traveling and people going to places. Fair warning. It's kind of like, again, it doesn't take you out of the film, but it is kind of odd. It's almost like when you're like too young to watch a film and your parents have to explain it to you before you watch it, kind of a vibe. But maybe that's just how it was in the 50s. I'm harping on this too much. Anyway, get away from that. We're in, I believe they said 1872. And just by looking around at the sets, I'm like, that sounds about right. So at the beginning, again, I'm just kind of like getting my place in the film. I didn't know what was going on and all this kind of stuff. And I didn't want to read any kind of synopsis. I didn't want to know who was in it, any of that kind of stuff. I just want to just throw myself into it. So it's like shots of like around town. They're in London. In the 1800s, every, like English people are so English, it almost sounds like they're not speaking English. You just don't hear people speak that way anymore. It's very like a Edwardian. I know that's before the Edwardian time, but you get what I'm saying. There's at one point there's a ginger kitty cat and a dude on a penny farthing bike. And I believe that might be one of the characters we end up following because dude's up on his bike, and those suckers with the big wheel. Everybody's looking at this guy going around town, and then he's like typical cyclist. He's riding right down the middle of the street, two sidewalks, but he's riding right down the middle of the street. Everybody's pissed off. There's like a horse and buggy behind him. They have to go slow because this guy's on a bike. Why don't you get out of the way? And he just kind of can't. It's a penny farthing. They can they're only so maneuverable. But it's fun. It starts out, it's very like cutesy, upbeat, like it's going to be a fun type of film. And there's these group of old men in a club. It's like the society of putting things on top of other things from Monty Python. So it's like these old guys, and they're wearing their suits, and they got their pipes and their drinks, and they're all well. This one fella, they show a newspaper that looks rather like rumpled up, And this is the big scandal. Well, apparently somebody read another man's newspaper before the man got to it. And this is unacceptable. Like we've had this establishment for 50 years, and this has never happened, and all the time. So like that's the big drama going on. Somebody read somebody else's newspaper, so this man can't touch it. It's a big thing, and I kind of get it because it's the they didn't fold it back together right, and that's the tell. So well, it's no fun to open up a newspaper that somebody already opened up. So I get why the guy was mad. John Rogers, yeah, it sounds like Huron with the bike lane. Yeah, that was the whole time I'm thinking like, where's the bike lane? Get over to the side. There should be like a little green path for you. Why are you? It's just typical cyclists. So I'm like, okay, okay. You can tell they're not in the Netherlands because this guy doesn't know what he's doing on a bike. And then they get to, I believe that's going to be one of our main characters because he goes to, actually, I kind of don't know. What happens is there's a fellow going to a building that's on a corner, and you can see the top of the building, and it's an employment office. But the word before employment office is AGGOTT, and I'm thinking if there's an F in front of that, I'm done with this movie right now. I'm gonna have to pause it and laugh my ass off. It didn't say that. What's up? You are dumb too. But I was waiting for that. I was waiting to LOL, because you could say stuff back then you can't say now. It didn't though, so I was like, well, that was almost a joke, but okay. So what it is, it's this must be him. It's a fella. The character's name is Passepartout, and when you look it up, it kind of looks like a French, like they're trying to say passport in French. It's not said the way it's written. French words are. And I think that's funny because it's a French sounding name for a character who is Mexican. It's played by a fella named Kenton Flas. I might be pronouncing that horribly. I don't have any kind of Spanish accent. Uh, I like when that happens. Oh, you got like the Spanish guy with like a French-ish name. That's hilarious to me. So like, okay, that's cool. Lisa Gray, I remember I would get so peeved if someone started my newspaper crossword and or crypto quote, my newspaper, my puzzles, damn it. Oh, I know that's right. Like somebody, how dare you take ink and pen to my inked paper, you son of a yeah, I remember that. It's the same kind of aggravation where, but back in the cassette tape days when you took it out, it was a whole foldy thing. Then you had to like fold it up just right to get it back into the cassette to get it to close it. Yeah, I remember that struggle. And then if it rips on the perforation, ugh. We had it so rough in the 80s. You have no idea. And the 90s. So anyway, Passepartout, he goes into it's weird because it's like this butler meeting, this employment office. Everybody's sitting so still. It's like they're statues, and there's the guy waiting, and the walls are lavender, which would be fine anywhere else, but I'll chalk it up to being the 50s. So why would you have lavender walls? But let's not get into that. It looked pretty. And the is it wainscoting even when it comes all the way up? Like that was mint colored. It's Yeah, I guess it was the 50s. That's why everything was pastel. I get it now. Okay. Interesting coloring. Maybe not for a group of gentlemen like that, but it's fine. It's because you can't really be like gay back then. So like, how far are they gonna push this? That's as far as they pushed it, really. So what it is, it's this guy is just like everybody else is so like proper and all this stuff, and here's this guy, and he's all everybody's English, and he's about to cry, and they're like, hold it together, man. And he's like, I'm sorry, I just can't. You don't understand what my boss is like. It's like, well, you signed up for this kind of work, it's gonna be hard. He's like, no, 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 you don't get it. This dude is just, he wants his toast at 84 degrees or he won't touch it. And he just like he's got this boss who is just so anal and just wants things done so specifically. Like the man is so OCD that this butler dude is just having a nervous breakdown over it. He's done. He's quitting. And then I forget who they were talking about, but they mentioned I think the person who they need for the job to work for this, anal guy shouldn't have excessive sanity. I don't know if that's who it's in reference to, but I had to write down excessive sanity because that's just a funny phrase. And then like they get to talking about this guy. It's like, yes, well, he's very eccentric. He's like first of all, like his name. I thought they were saying Phineas, but I know I didn't hear an N. It's Phileas, like Phileas. His last name is Fogg, Fogg. I'm gonna call him Fogg. Second Horizon. Yes, thank you for that. Yeah. Oh, John Rogers. I hear Sandusky is mailing their papers now, and some people are getting the mail around 8 at night. Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Sometimes my mail can show up before 5 p.m. At least this time of year, the mail's going to get later and later. So if I wanted something in a hurry, oh, B chap, how's it going? Glad you made it. But yeah, this Fog dude, he's so eccentric. And one thing they mention is he doesn't do any wenching. So this guy has never been seen with a chick. That's suspicious, but they don't bring it up anymore. I remembered it, but they don't bring it up anymore. So it's like, let's see what's up with Mr. No Bitches. Oh, you're dumb too. Phileas Fogg, fictional character, a wealthy, eccentric Englishman who wagers that he can travel around the world in 80 days in Jules Verne's novel Around the World in 80 Days, 1873. Cool. So this movie is very similar to the book. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Passepartout. I'm like, what is that word? Google? Okay. So, hmm. I forget exactly when Passepartout gets over to Fogg's house. But anyway, they showed this some dude has like this like light English accent. Lisa Gray also thought David Niven was a smooth operator. He's very smooth, very cool, very even keel without being boring. I'll say that about him. And but without thinking about it, this might be the first film of his I've seen him in. That's okay. An actor should be good enough that you see him in one thing, you either want to watch it again or you want to see him in something else. So this, I forget exactly how they get on the subject, but they're talking about going around the world. And one dude's like, yeah, you could do it in a year. Sure, fine. Yeah, you'd have plenty of time. You can get it all done at that time. Somebody else is like, no, man, you can do it way faster than that. You could probably get it all done in like 6 months. Hell yeah, easy. Still not rushing. It would be fine. And the whole time, Fox just kind of like sitting back. He's just kind of shaking his head at suggestions. Kind of like, nah, they don't know what they're talking about. And they notice him. It's like, okay, well, nope, smart ass over there shaking your head. What do you know? He's like, no. I think you could do it faster than 6 months. It's like, well, you're crazy for even saying that out loud. How could you even think that? Like, I think it could be done in like 80 days. Not 81, 80. Easy. And they're like, sure, it could. Yeah. Whatever. Let's just keep drinking and smoking. He's like, no, I'm serious. It could be done. And they're kind of like, okay, put your money where your mouth is. How about 5,000 or yeah, 5,000 pounds says you can't do it. It's like, oh yeah, I'll do even better. It's like I'm worth 20,000 pounds. I'll bet everything I'm worth on this. I can travel the world in 80 days, putting my 20, is it 20? Yeah, 20,000 pounds on it. Because like, okay, that's so stupid, and I'm so sure you're gonna lose. I'll match your bet. Dumbass, you're going down. It's like, all right, there's no swearing in this. Of course, I'm paraphrasing. Like, all right, fine, you're on. And then like the third guy's like, you know what? This is so stupid. I'm in. Sure, I'll play along just to humiliate you more when you come back on day 81 or after a year, whatever. Like, sure. And then, like, here's the fourth guy. It's like five other dudes plus our guy Fogg putting in on this bet. He's got to get around the world in 80 days, and he's got to be back by September 21st. That's Anthony Vincent's birthday. By 8:45 in the morning. Why not just 9 a.m. on the dot? But I don't know why. That's just what they decided. So it's like, okay, fine. That's the bet. I'm gonna go do it. I'll see you guys later. I've got stuff to do. And they're like, sure, fine. Have a nice day. We'll see you in a couple of months. Yeah, like they're totally not taking this guy seriously. Like they're just kicking him out the door. Like whatever, whatever. Like he said, he was just gonna go buy a candy bar. Like anyway, I'll see you later. Whatever. You Are Dumb Too. For comedic reasons, the film intentionally deviated wildly from the novel and included a number of uh, anarcho Mystic elements. Makes it sound like I've never read English before. The production cost about 110 million and estimated marketing cost of 30 million. It earned 24 million at the US box office and 48 million worldwide, making it a box office failure. Yeah. Ooh. And just reading those numbers hurt. I'm sorry I didn't do that well. Ugh. Second Horizon. Proper Americans refer to British people generally as teabags. Yeah, ball bag. That's cute. So here it is, like literally the morning Passepartout becomes Fogg's like butler. Like he shows up to his house and Fogg's like, dude, we gotta pack, we're going. And it's Passepartout's like, oh well, okay, okay, it's what we're here to do. It's you can't complain about it. So he's they got like the thing like where like the pipes run through the house, and he got like the thing there to like listen to, and then like that's how they would call their servants. Oh hey, how's it going, Kira? Glad you made it. So he's calling him through the little service pipe thing, like come down here, I need you to bring me something, whatever. And dude's like, like he's trying to get dressed, he's trying to grab everything, he's trying to run through this whole house. He knows he's in a hurry. They got this little service elevator, so he just climbs inside and just like does the little rope and just lowers himself down to get to dude's his office, wherever he was at, his stateroom. Not stateroom, he's still in his house. So that was cute. I'm like, okay, this guy's just doing whatever to get around. He's like, yeah, yeah, go pack my stuff. So you walk into this guy's closet, and he has his closet sectioned off, like spring, for the seasons and all. But they're sectioned off in such a way that like it looks like speech bubbles. So like each section of clothing is like saying what it is. It's so it makes you feel like you're looking at a comic book panel for a second. It's really cute. It took me out of the film in a good way. That gave me a good laugh. I wonder if that was deliberate because that was fun. And so, Fogg's packing up everything, and he's got this big like carpet bag, and that's what's gonna have like all the important stuff, all the cash, all the whatever. Yeah, OCD, Second Horizon. I know that's right. Ugh. Lisa Gray, I'll be back in a few. It's 3:38 p.m. and getting dark. Have to grab a load of wood from the shed. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, wood time. Oh yeah, that's hot. So here's this giant carpet bag, and he's telling Passepartout, he's like, I don't care what happens. Never let this out of your sight, no matter what. Wherever you go, this bag goes with you. You got me? You understand? And he's like, oh yeah, sure, of course I understand. I'll cherish it like a woman. Fogg says, don't make love to it, just watch it. Because what we see when we first met Passepartout is every time he's out in public, if there's a lady around, he notices and he's watching. He's very interested in anything they're doing. If he's got an extra second, he's trying to chat this lady up. Dude is all about the chicks. Like not in a Pepe Le Pew creepy kind of way. Like not in a creeper kind of way, not like that. He just likes the pretty girls. So a lot of things that happen in this movie are because like he got distracted looking at some lady, and then like more stuff happens. Beach app. It's 11:41 inside here in north southwest Oz. That's 11:41 in the morning for everybody else. And let me just check the battery. Hold on. And there's gonna be some lag. Apologies for that. When you're working on one little device, it happens. It's not so bad. I've seen worse technical difficulties. Yeah, that Phileas Fogg I didn't mention, but that's our guy David Niven, who again I've not like I've always heard of him. I don't think I've seen him in anything else. I'd have to like go through his filmography to check. But after watching him in this, it's not, if he was in something else, I would be interested in it. So he's not a bad actor at all. Again, he's very, like he's not, proper English guy, very even keel, but it does a lot like subtly, like even from a distance. I'll point it out later. He's good. Yeah, so this happens a few times. It's past part two, and he's talking to some fella, and the guy's talking about all these places he's been and all the girls he's seen, and he's like, "Oh man, just tell me about it." The guy's like, "Oh, well, words would fail me. Just he won't even describe what he's seen to this man. He's just like if it's about girls, like girls anybody's seen, if he can see him himself, guy is there." Pink Panther movie. Pink Panther's great. And again, like anytime they're in town, anything going on, like the score gets very cutesy. Like, oh, it's almost like a cartoon. So they're all packed up. It's past part two. He's got the carpet bag, and there's Fog. He's got his top hat on. He usually has a top hat on. Very good move. So they go to it must be the travel agent. And Fogg walks in. He's like, "Yeah, so I bet all the fellas at the Reform Club I could get around the world in 80 days." So look, so what I'm gonna need is like he's trying to think, logically, like, okay, I'm gonna need to take like like a boat over to like France. He's like, and then from there to another place, I'm gonna need to take a train, and then from another place to another place, I'm gonna have to take a caravan, and oh, the Casino Royale David Niven movies. Yeah, he did the Bond area. Beach Yep, yeah, I remember those with Steve Martin. There's also a Pink Panther cartoon series as well. A Pink Panther with Peter Sellers, the '60s. I know they did do a Pink Panther film with Steve Martin, maybe sometime in the last 20 years. Haven't seen it. Um, I would rather watch all of the Peter Sellers Pink Panthers first before I watched anything else. And everybody see the Pink Panther cartoon. That's its own separate thing. Oh, I bet slept Satan talking about they just built their hardwood shed Thanksgiving Day, and they gotta fill it. That's cool. Build a second shed. Have two sheds. So they're like, "Yeah, travel agent guy, we need you to, book these trains, book all these boats, arrange all this stuff. We got to get this done." But I don't want to have to do all this. Like, why couldn't we just? It would be so much easier if we could just fly. Just like if we could just get in, like, say, an aeroplane and just fly around the world. That makes sense to me. And the travel agent's like, funny you should mention that, because I know a balloon. Like, what? He's like, no, seriously, I've been up in this thing 60 plus times, safest thing in the world. This balloon will get you where you need to go. And like, there's zero argument about it. They just head out for this balloon. Like Fogg just knows this man enough and trusts him well enough. Like, fuck yeah, I'm there, dude. Let's go. So they're like, next thing you know, like they're about to like get in the basket and fly away, like it's the end of the Wizard of Oz. And like there's like a big crowd of people. Of course, this is an event. Like there's all kinds of hugs and people, slap on the back handshakes, and you can tell Passepartout's just kind of like depressed because like there's he doesn't have like a bunch of girls running up to him, kissing him, saying goodbye. So he's kind of just, I guess we have to go. Hey, King 40, how's it going? Glad you made it. So he's just kind of dejected. He doesn't, there's nothing said. You can just tell this from the character. He's just kind of sad. So then he just sort of, nobody's around and just goes, unties the balloon, just kind of lets the rope fall. Then you hear Fogg behind him, like, hey, shouting for him, dude. Oh, and he's got to run up and jump in the basket. They almost left without the guy because he's too busy thinking about girls. So that was funny. So, but it got to like now we're 30 minutes in, they're up in the air. Cool. They're on their way. But they're like like taking a bag of sand and just dumping it out. And like they do it a second time, and then I start thinking, how are they gonna descend with no sand? I start thinking practical things. Again, top hat on, up in the air, top hat on. And it's very nice. Like, like you can tell they put like a balloon up in the air and actually like shot footage of like ruins and old castles and in like, like grounds and stuff all over England. It's very pretty, very nice. You can tell it's not shot from a helicopter. Beach Chap used to sometimes even check out hot girl cops in their uniforms, so most times they've got special powers. One time I was going over a bridge. I wasn't breaking the law, but I could have been because I looked over and saw a cop, and here's this bitch looking in her rear view mirror checking her makeup. So very lovely aerial shots. And then maybe I just didn't understand Smokey and the Bandit. Maybe I've seen that. Ooh, it's been a while. I'd have to look at it again. Like if I did see it, it was like in the 80s or something. So, but they're up there and they're flying around, floating around, and like right, like they're busting out the fried chicken. They're snacking. Um, it looks like they're over France actually, just the way things look. And there's at one point there's like you can tell like they got the projection screen behind them, so they're looking and it's mountains and stuff. And this was really cute because they go like they're in the balloon, they're floating past these mountains. Passepartout reaches out, grabs some snow off the top of the mountain, reaches over, puts it in a bucket that Fogg is holding. Then Fogg takes a bottle of champagne, sticks it in the snow so they can have some cold champagne. But the whole time I'm thinking, like, you just left. It's been 2 minutes and you're eating all of your supply. Like, I'm just being too practical about it. Like, you're eating all your supplies. You're going to starve before you get to the end. They don't have any suitcases. Like, I don't see a duffel bag. It's like the carpet bag and the clothes on their back. And if there's stuff in the, basket they're floating in, we can't see it. Maybe I've watched too much of The Long Dark. But I was just being a little bit too practical about it. It's okay. I eventually I figured out, it's like, it's been more than 2 minutes. It's been hours since they've been up there, so it's okay that they're eating now. It's not like they just left. So I cut them some slack. And they keep cutting back to the old guys at the Reform Club. They're sitting back with their newspapers, and somebody comes in with a telegram. Oh, did you hear this happened with them? Oh, they were supposed to be there at this time. I guess they're not gonna make it. Ha ha ha. Smoking their cigars and just drinking. That's one thing at the Reform Club. One dude's sitting there, the butler guy comes up, asks if he wants some ice in his drink. Are you mad? It's like, well, I understand it's all the rage in America. Oh, those Americans will do anything over there. Don't want any ice in my glass. What if I chip a tooth? oh, what if you get catch a cold on your liver? Just can't have any of that. Beach Happy, I remember Smoking the Bandit. Forrest Gump's mother, Sally Field, is in it, but can't remember the other actor's name. Hmm. Maybe I haven't seen that movie. So they land finally, and Fogg thinks they're in a foreign country, but Passepartout understands everything they're saying because they've landed in Spain. But since they don't have the balloon option, they're gonna need a boat. But in the meantime, they're just gonna kick it there for a little while. So they're inside of this a bar. It's a very large place, and there's dancing going on. Like the Spanish style of dancing. And Fogg is just sitting there, very, very, proper, very English. Like his cane, hat. Well, he didn't have his hat on; he was inside, and he's just kind of looking around. And everybody's moving around. They're into it. They're dancing. They're feeling it, and he's just kind of like I'm too polite to say anything, but this is totally not my scene. But we're kind of stuck here waiting to get a boat, so I'm just gonna sit here and be English. But what happened? Like, there's a dance, break. They got this fella dancing, they got this girl dancing. Passepartout gets up and dances with her, and like by the end, like you like David Niven, he's clapping, he's getting into it, so he chills out. But as they're just kind of hanging out in there, this other fellow walks in, and he's got a guy. He's got a safari hat, and he's got like a posse with him. So apparently, he's somebody important, maybe some kind of royalty. If they said I didn't quite catch it, but you walk into a place with a posse, you're probably somewhat important. And he's got his own table. Everybody stands around. Oh, is that the guy? Yeah, that's the guy I want to talk to about the boat. Cool. I'll go talk to him after they're done dancing. Awesome. So dance break, go talk to the guy. Fogg does. He's like, yeah, we need a boat. And the guy in the safari hat's like, cool, I've got a boat. I'll let you have it for free if you win a bullfight. Fogg's like, sure, we'll do that. Oh, you're okay, King 40. Yeah, we're talking about an old movie anyway. I bet Slap Satan, my daddy, reminded me of Gleason's Honeymooner's personality. LOL. That's cute. Oh, a Second Horizon. Bert was aces in Deliverance. I have to see that one. I bet Slap Satan Bert was hot before plastic surgery. Yeah, yeah. Ugh. John Rogers, at least he didn't have to worry about banjos. LOL. Yeah, Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds was in an episode of Bird Notice. Almost didn't recognize him. Like, oh my god, he's an old man now. So yeah, next day it's a bullfight. And me, I was getting take a bow vibes. King 40, I love a good dance break, disco that is, LOL. Yeah, we should watch Airplane. Uh it's a I don't know anything about bullfighting, like scoring wise. I don't know how you get points. I don't know if you can speed run it, anything like that. But this first guy gets up there. His outfit, it's like sequins and pink pastel. It was the 50s, and he does his thing. And then Passepartout gets up there, and like the crowd is laughing at him. He's got like this silly hat on. He's probably doing it the Mexican way versus the Spanish way, so that's why he's getting laughed at. But anyway, he does his thing, and it's like he doesn't have as much control, but then again, he doesn't get hurt. And then at the very end, he like turns his back on the bull, and like it doesn't attack him, and I guess that means he won. So they get a boat. It goes on for some time. That's probably why the film is so long. Honestly, could have been cut. I understand why they wanted to show it, but it does go on for a bit. But It ends, and then they get their boat because they're gonna go to Marseille. And then like we cut back to the old men at the Reform Club, and it's like, oh, 30 what 30 to 1 odds. It's been 62 days. And it like everybody in the building is now, it's not just the five guys, it's like everybody in the club is betting on this. Everybody's in on it. Oh, hey Danny, how's it going? I'm stopping in to say hello. Might be heading up to the dive bar down the street. Nice. Have fun. So that's what happened. Now, what keeps happening is they end up going to. I didn't quite get where this was, but there's like Arabic writing somewhere. So they could be in Morocco, they could be in Egypt, they can be just in Arabia. You wouldn't tell by the music because it does sound rather Chinese. So don't use the music to indicate where they're at because it's gonna confuse you. And then about this time, they have this fella show up. He's from the British consulate. I didn't catch his name at first, but his name is Inspector Fix, Fix. And what it is, the English think that Fogg robbed the Bank of England for, I forget how much. He robbed the Bank of England, so there's a warrant out for his arrest. They're trying to trap him at one of these ports that he stops in as he's doing his travels. And they do this running, not a running gag, that they do it about twice, where it's Fog and he's out on deck and he has the serviceman bring him his tea and he's got his hat on and everything, sips his tea. Then they do it again where it's like the wind's blowing so hard there's stuff blowing off the serviceman's tray. Fog's sitting there with his hat tied around his head so it won't blow away, and the guy sets down his tea and like, oh, thank you, takes a sip. It's a cute little joke they only do twice there really quick. Lisa Gray, morbid, but I knew a lady who started engaging in hot air balloon adventures. She ended up slamming her balloon into a building, fell out, and died on impact. At least she didn't suffer. Nobody else got hurt. Beach Chap just reminded me of the episode of the classic TV cartoon show Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget was the bomb. And then they get into a bit about oh, how can Fogg want to eat all this food when we're on the ship on these rough seas? And dude's like, you don't understand. I eat lists off the food at the same time every day, so nothing interferes with this man chowing down. If you get in the way of his food, he's gonna go off. I can respect that. And then now they're on to Bombay. And while they're in India, Passepartout is just walking around pissing off the locals. Like there's one guy doing his snake charmer thing with the snake going all the way up, but then Passepartout sees there's a guy just hiding up under a canopy, so he pulls it down, it exposes the whole charade, and so he gets chased. He stops a cow from eating some flowers, but then I guess it's a sacred cow, but guy doesn't know that because he's not from there, so he pisses off the locals, so he gets chased. He's not having a good time in India. Yeah, Bank of England, that's what it was. And I got this gangster air conditioner where it's just like a giant rug hung from the ceiling, and there's a dude off to the side pulling something, so all this rug does is move back and forth to just move the air. That's pretty gangster to me. And somebody was talking about, oh, this is it's tea time. The second guy's like, this is a crisis, we gotta find this criminal. The first guy's like, crisis or no, nothing should interfere with tea. It's most very English. Oh, King 40, did I mention how cute the Nixter is? Oh, thank you. I just watched my episode, not the last one I did, but the one before. I thought I looked cute in that for a minute. I wonder how much I weighed. So now they've got this. Now they're on a train, and it's a very slow shot. There's a camera in front of the train, so you just have the train tracks in front of you. These very slow shots. They're going over a bridge that looks like a castle, and I was getting hella Grand Theft Auto vibes because Gray does this one track and it's over trains. It's in one of the compilations of. Oh, thanks, King 40. If I didn't say. So that got me thinking about Grand Theft Auto. There's like this pretty sunset. Like shots of elephants, trees, countryside, all around there. Very nice. And then they see it looks like a parade for a sleepy guy. Oh wait, that's a funeral. It's this guy, it was like, laying down, and there's like a girl like sitting up. It's like, well, why would you bring an alive girl along to a funeral unless you're gonna kill her along with her husband? And that's what they're gonna do. This fella died, so they're gonna, Viking funeral him and chuck his wife on top because that's just their tradition. And Fog and all of them see this, and they're not cool with it. So they don't show you when, but past part two ends up dressing up like the dead guy, so he can be like laying there, and then like they put the girl next to him, and he kind of like nudges her with her foot, and then like they both like she realizes like, hey, this is not my dead husband. They both get out of there so they don't get burnt up, and they just end up escaping. Don't mention what happened to the dead body. I was thinking about that super hard. It never comes up again. Did they just throw him in the water? But now they've got this Indian princess. Her name is Princess Auda, Auda. She looks a little bit familiar. That's Shirley MacLaine. They just kind of went a little bit extra heavy on her eyebrows and just kind of rounded them out and didn't give them any kind of shape at all. But that's her. And now we're over in Hong Kong. We're like an hour 30 minutes in. Go running at a good pace. And honestly, after all that bullfighting stuff, we really don't have any more slow spots. It all kind of just focuses ahead. But then we find out, like, the music sounds like So This Is Love from. Crap, which Disney film is that? You know what it's from. But then you find out that like this princess didn't know her husband. It was like this weird arranged marriage where like she met the guy once when she was 7, and then she was like sent off to England to be educated, and then never saw him again until they were at the funeral. So she just did not know this guy. We don't know anything about him. Like they might have told us his name, but he's dead now. Who cares? So it's Fog, it's past part two, it's this princess. I think there's another guy with them. I forget when he joins up. But they're just around town in Hong Kong, and there's like ostriches for hire. What are you gonna do with an ostrich? But I guess they like ride them like horses or something. So that's why that there. And then they do the joke where it's the three of them, and they stop this Chinese guy. They're like, hey, what's up with this? They're trying to meet somebody there. King 40, no, from Disney. Damn, is that in Cinderella? Huh. It'll come to me. That sounds right. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, they do the joke where it's like Fog is like, like over, like saying words very clearly to this, Asian man, and then like the dude answers back in perfect English, like, oh yeah, the dude's not in this house. He left like literally earlier this week to not be here for this scene. Whatever reason, the guy was not there, so they're like, ah, damn it. All right, so this fix guy keeps like running, like this is like twice now he's running to past part two and like just been talking to him, trying to get information about him, about Fog, just wanting to know about his boss, casually. And so he brings him into a bar, and right away before they even sit down, like behind them, you can see this dude fall out. These other two guys carry him away. Like, oh, that's weird. So Fix sits down past part two, orders him a shot, winks really heavily at the bartender, brings the shot over. It looks like this dark brown, reddish liquid. And like right when you think Passepartout is gonna take a drink, he gets up to leave. Yeah, Lisa Gray. Yeah, yeah. So this is Love from Cinderella. Yeah, I knew that was right. I can kind of see it in my head. And right before he leaves, like they do the thing where like they got the drink, they leave, but before they leave, they go back, takes a drink, he drinks like half of the shot, and then like right away it hits him. Dude falls out. The two guys, take him away. Like, oh no, they shanghaied him. So he like gets like thrown into just like some random boat, and the next thing you know, he wakes up on a bigger boat with if you recognize that actor, that this is when this starts happening. I start hella recognizing actors from other places. It's Peter Lorre. It's like I know, like you recognize those eyes, you know that face. But he's just in the one scene, like, hey man, we're on this boat out at sea. You're not getting back to land. We're heading out to I don't know where exactly they're heading. Maybe Japan. I don't even know if he says, but basically, you're on a boat. You're nowhere near your friends. Sorry, you're coming with us. And then at one point, it's Inspector Fix. They've got the princess, and it's Fogg there. And Fogg turns to Fix, and he says, "Fish Fix." I thought he said fish dick, so I had to go back, put it on subtitles. Like he did not just say that. He did not use a South Park joke, but it's Fix. It sounds like fish dicks. Close. That was hilarious. But yeah, so here's Passepartout. He's stuck in this country. He doesn't speak the language. He doesn't know what's going on. He's like he likes all the little geisha girls. Well, like walking around with their little steps. He likes seeing all them. But other than that, what are you gonna do? Second Horizon, right? Shanghai and Shanghai. They did the thing they're famous for in the same town. Who'd have thought? Son of a bitch. But he's kind of sad. He's wandering around. He sees there's a circus, and he does have training. He's done like every job. He's like a jack of all trades. So he's done circus work before. It's like, well, I guess I gotta have a job. So he just wanders in there. I guess I'm gonna work. Slow boat to China, Lisa Gray. Yeah. And then they have well they show there's Fog and the Princess and Fix showing up in Japan, and showing up to that circus, and like they walk inside, it's like all the guys piled up on top of each other doing like the human pyramid thing. They recognize Guy, they holler at him, he's at the bottom of the pyramid, so he runs away. Everybody else collapses, like, hey, we're all together again, let's go. Intermission. There's an intermission in this film. Not only is there an intermission in this film, like they let it play. It's like over a minute long of just music. I fast forwarded through it. This is why this movie is 3 hours long. We don't need a full. We need like an intermission from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Like that's the kind of intermission I'm thinking of. Yeah, yeah. When the channel gets closer to monetization, King 40, I'll have to start cleaning up my. I'll have to do the pseudo swearing like my dad does. I'm not there yet. Yeah, well, we don't do intermissions on this channel. So there was that. So you fast forward like a minute, they get back to it, and it's they're back in England. They show a couple of ladies, and middle of the day, sun is out, people are out walking around, and these chicks have these two like just full of beer. They're just like slinging them back, talking about, oh, that Fog sounds so romantic, just picking up and taking off all across the world. I bet he's so eccentric and this, and this other girl's like, oh, you're so full of it. It's not romantic. He's just a weirdo. I don't think he's gonna make it back. How much you want to bet, sweetie? Well, I'll bet this, putting her money down. There's my money. Where's yours? I got it right here, sister. Reaches for wherever she's got her money. I've been robbed. So it's not just the people. Those five guys were betting on it. Then it's like everybody at the club's betting on it. Now you got randos all around town betting on whether or not he's gonna make it back in 80 days. Oh, just kidding, King 40. That's cool. I know it's not ladylike. It happens. It's I'm sober at 8 p.m. What do you think's gonna happen? Oh, there's a parade, and you can see the shadow of the camera on the bottom left corner. It's not too obvious, but I was looking for that. And again, here we got past part two, following some girls into a bar, and he walks up to a lady, and this other dude just throws his knife down, a switchblade knife. Guy's like, "That's nice," and picks it up and walks away with it and gets away from that lady. This chick, if you didn't know who it was, it's Marlena Dietrich, but like her face is always straight onto the camera, no matter what's going on. If somebody's to the side of her, she's just looking to the side. She just looks to the side. She always keeps her face straight at the camera. And she's got those cheekbones too. So like even if you didn't know who that was, this is a chick who knows what to do with the camera. So that was her, even if you couldn't tell. And then they keep showing like the back of some guy's back. He's just playing piano, just the house piano player, nothing special about him. And then he finally like turns around and it's Frank Sinatra. And they keep doing that. I didn't write down everybody, but there's a lot of actors in here and actresses where like they're just in one scene playing one part, in one bit of the world. Like, oh my god, that's cool. Now here we got the princess is Shirley MacLaine. She's wearing this like lavender purple and then like this like dark purple like kind of veil thing with gold on it. I was eating that up. And then there's this train conductor guy, and again I'm like, I think I know who that is. It's Buster Keaton. And the train stops, and there's fog. He's like, well, why have we stopped? Like, oh no, it's Buster Keaton. He's like, oh no, it's fine. It's they're peaceful Indians. Fog's like, well, how can you tell? And Buster Keaton's like, oh, well, they have a peace pipe. If they weren't friendly, you'd know it. So like there's a train conductor. He's got the peace pipe. I think I was smoking at the time too. So I was like, hey, so they're smoking out on the balcony. Like it's Native American Indians. They're in the U.S. now. Yeah, so they had to stop for that. And it's like the middle. It's like early in the day. So they stop for the peace pipe. Keep going. They had to stop again because there's all these buffalo crossing the track. So okay, I have to stop for that. They're very pretty. And that's like later on in the afternoon, early afternoon, let's say. So then they're going along again. Train stops again, and Fogg is kind of just like, are we going to let the entire United States cross in front of this train? What's with all of the stops? So this time they're stopping for something serious because it was these other two guys ahead on the tracks with their flags, like, whoa, 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 trying to get this train to stop. They do stop. What's going on? There's a bridge ahead, but it's rickety AF. It's like this bridge cannot hold this train. It's going to collapse. So somebody else is like, well, here, pulls out this, he's got like a fifth of whiskey. He's like, drink some of this and just punch it into high gear and, haul ass. So I'm thinking, okay, like we're gonna ramp it, send it. Like this is some Grand Theft Auto shit right here. I want to see this fucker fly. So like, here we go. This is gonna be something. So dude, like gulp, gulp, gulp. Woo, let's do it. Everybody back on the train, back it up a bit, gun it, fly over it as far as they can, as fast as they can. Gets so far, then starts to roll back because like here's the bridge actually fucking collapsing down. I'm thinking, oh shit, where's this story gonna go? And like right as the train rolls back, it kind of gets it together and keeps it going. So like that could have been bad. That could have stopped. It could have turned into the River Wild right in the middle of the story, but it didn't. It was fine. They got over it. What was this? Oh, okay. Now I remember. Now, I'm sorry. Then they do get attacked by like the not peaceful Indian. Arrows flying everywhere, shouting horses. Folks are getting scared, but they're used to this stuff, so they're breaking out the guns, or they're even handing a gun to the princess. Like everybody's shooting. And so this was like the first person shooter portion of the game. So like Doom or something like that. And they're shooting at Indians. Arrows are flying. Nobody's getting hurt. What those kind of movies. I think even Buster Keaton takes an arrow, but he's fine because they're not going to show like blood and things like that. And it's not that kind of a movie. They're not going to suddenly get dramatic on you. But as this is going on, of course, Passepartout, he's the like stuff David Niven probably wouldn't or couldn't do or probably shouldn't do because he was not a young man. Like, let's get this guy to do it. So he's the one like having the adventures, doing the running around, the physical stuff like that. So there he is up on top of the train. Arrows are flying. He's not getting hurt. He's not getting hit at all. Goes all the way across. He's trying to get to the front of the train because it's out of control. They figure the conductor or the train engineer just, not there, executed, something like that. Oh, Erica, how you doing? Glad you made it. But he falls off of the train, and then he's trying to get the I think it seems like he's trying to like distract the Indians away from the train. So he gets a horse. He's riding away. He's trying to lead them all this way and that to just get him away. It works for a little while until he gets caught. They said it's the Sioux Indians. I don't know if that's like historically accurate to wherever the hell they're supposed to be in the United States at the time, but that's what they said. And this is when they show this is the princess is still wearing purple, but now she's got like this matching purple parasol with it. It's more like a lavender, like pastel purple, the 50s. I was there for it. Very cool. But there they are. They're missing their one guy, and it's just the three of them, and they can't take the train anymore because they get to the end of the line. And one of the guys is pissed off. He's like, no, no, no. I just read in the newspaper before we left that this line was finished. And the guy's like, yeah, it is finished up to this point. And then we say you have to arrange for your own travel from here on to wherever the fuck you're going to go. We wrote that down. You should have read it. Sorry you missed it. Oh well. Can't be a Karen to me about it because that term doesn't exist. So they're like, well, whatever. I knew this was going to happen anyway. Fine. Have a nice day. Not going to stand there and argue with them. So what they end up doing, there's just like scraps of like train, bits and parts there from the end of the line. So they start getting MacGyvery. Next thing you know, they're going down the tracks on I called it a railboat because it's like a box, it's like a rectangle, and they've got a sail on it like a boat, but it's on rails, so it's a railboat. And so they're like cruising down on that. It looks like so much fucking fun. It's a little bit faster than that get up that they were on in Oh Brother Where Art Thou. Like it's cruising faster than that because it has a sail. Apparently it has a brake too. I didn't know it had brakes. But like at one point, like they're going past another train that stopped, and all the people who are just stopped are just kind of standing there, like, "Why didn't we think of that? Fuck, we're fucking stranded here. Those guys get to keep going on." So like you can tell they were salty. So that was cool. I like that little thing. That I want to ride on that so bad. It looks like so much fun. And at some point, you hear somebody say, like, I forget, I don't know if this was just like voiceover added in or if somebody really said it, but they said one of those handmade American trains. That was cute. And then we cut back to the guys at the Reform Club. And it's this, the butler guy's got a message, so they got to set it on a tray and give it to somebody so somebody can look at it and just, and react to it. So the butler guys, here's what the message is, goes back to his post. He's like, well, I just heard the telegram. Apparently they've got this far now. He's like, really? He's like, yeah. Tell you what, you watch my post. I'm going to go put another 5 pounds on this. Wait, put another 3 pounds on my bet for me. Cool, I'll be right back. Yeah, yeah. Proper butler stuff. We don't bet. We're too good for that. So it's like the entire like London is betting on these folks. Everybody's in on it. They want to know what's going down. And again, they're doing this with no luggage. After they got out of like the basket from the balloon. They're like there's no suitcases, there's no duffel bags. Like the princess doesn't even have a purse. Like they got that carpet bag that and the clothes on their back that this whole time. Like I don't know where they're getting food from. I don't know if they're like buying everything on like I'll pay you back later. Like I'll give you an IOU. I'll pay you the next time I'm in town. None of that comes up at all. It's like a video game. You don't know how the characters are eating. They're just continuing to exist. But now they've gotten themselves onto a. I like these boats. There's probably a proper name for it's like a steamship with sails, but it's also a paddle boat. One of those hybrid boats that had everything in it before they figured out which that steam worked better than just paddles. One of those. So it's one of those cute hybrid everything Swiss Army knife type boats. Just whatever you can put on it to make it go, it has on it. Lisa, I'm glad liberties were taken with movie interpretation. So fun. Yeah, because we don't need an extra half an hour movie where they explain how they're getting all their food and all their water, and if somebody breaks a finger, where they go to a doctor. So of course you don't put it, it's already 3 hours long, so it's cuts could have been made, but it's certainly wouldn't want to add anything to it. Yeah, so they get onto the Henrietta, and the ship is doing quite well. And then it seems like the paddle gets stuck, and then everybody just gives up. The captain's like, "Well, fuck it, we're just stuck in the water. I guess you're not going to get there. Sucks to be you. Oh well, what time is it?" And so Fogg is like, "Well, like I have to win this bet, or I'm gonna be flat ass broke, dude. So I'm just gonna." I forget exactly what it is, but he buys the boat from the captain. Uh, just like that. Like, cool. What's your first order, Captain? He's like, tear this bitch down. It's gonna be fuel. Like the walls, the floors, everything. If it's not making the boat go forward, keeping us afloat, then it's fuel. Throw it in the engines. Get it chopped down. So they're hacking away axes. They're ripping up the floors. They're ripping up the walls. If it can be gotten rid of, it's gotten rid of. It goes straight to the boiler room. Every last thing. This thing is it turns out to be, it's just like a frame and a husk floating with the steam pipe and this busted paddle wheel. And like this group of folks just, standing in the middle of it. It's a nice day. If it wasn't a nice day, they'd really be effed up, effed over. But even after doing that, you tear down this whole ship, you throw in everything you can except for the human beings, and it still only got them so far. And like this is the first time Fogg is just like, okay, maybe this is as far as I could. This is the best I could do. I gotta throw in the towel. He takes his top hat off. He's always had his it's an umbrella, cane thing with him. Chucks them both in, burns them up. It's like, not the hat. And the second he does that, I forget what happens, but then they get to how do they get from that? I don't know. I do forget, and I did just watch it yesterday. But anyway, they get the second he goes to like Chuck, he burns up his hat, and then they find out they can, I don't know, get all the way back to London somehow. They sort it out. It is that kind of movie where things just happen and you just accept them because there's no build up to it. So why should we explain it any further? It just happens. It just is. Just go along with it. It's the 50s. Just do it. But they do all this and they get, well, like they would have had like maybe like 3 days to get back. Like he's kind of like ahead of schedule. But then the Scotland Yard, British consulate, whatever you want to call it, they catch up with them. They're like, hold on, um, we can't let you win this bet. We've got to arrest you because you robbed the Bank of England. And you can only say no so much. They're going to take you into custody, and so it ends up that they're sitting in Fogg's sitting in a jail cell, and the princess is there, and Passepartout, they're just, just sad sitting outside the cellar. They can't do anything to get him out. And it gets to be like you can see the clock on the wall. It's like a quarter till 9 in the morning. And that's just when they are like, oops, oh, sorry, Mr. Fogg. We just realized we were wrong about this. We've been, wrong for the last 80 days to be chasing you down. We caught the guy who did it. Sorry to hold you up. Nothing personal. And Fogg is just not having it. He is like as pissed off as this man can be because you've just cost him his entire fortune losing this bet. You've got him totally fucked up now. And after the officer guy, oh, nothing personal. I didn't mean anything by it. It's, you can kind of tell he kind of does. At least I could. Like, you dirty underhanded. The timing of this. And Fogg just basically, in a very nice way, just he calls him a dick for delaying him. He's like, you know what? I never liked you. Um, you know what this cost me. Just it's the very very classy way of just calling him just a massive prick for holding him up and costing him his entire fortune, and just open the damn gate so I can go home. He doesn't swear, of course, but he's just like you've never seen like the whole movie. He's like all for it, and then he's just been so well, like it's sinking in for him very slowly. It's sinking in, but he gets home. And it's three of them there, and he's like, yeah, just hey, make up a room for the princess, make sure she's comfortable, and I'm just gonna be in my room. I don't want to see anybody for the rest of the day. Just deuces, not feeling it. For good reason. He's talking about. He's like, oh, I just every last penny I had went into this bet that I just lost. So I'm not in a good mood today. Forgive me. But he's talking to the princess about this stuff, and she it's very there's no build up to this, but she mentions something about like being his wife, and he says yes. And like again, like zero build up. These two have had zero like they've had scenes together, they've spoken together, but it's never been anything that hinted at anything romantic in the slightest. So like I know they're just throwing him with this girl to like get away from like the beginning of the film, talking about how he did not do any wenching. You got to give him a girl at the end, or everybody's gonna think he's gay. So like that's literally why they're together. It's just very like, okay, did I? It's like the most unromantic. Um, trying to think who's had worse chemistry on screen together. I mean, it could be worse. Like if it was Natalie Portman, they would have worse chemistry together. You know what? Jon Snow and Daenerys had worse chemistry than these two, but even like they had build up to their no chemistry relationship. Or they did have build up to their relationship. These two didn't. But you know what? Whatever. I get it. It's the 50s. It's got to have a girl with her. Whatever. So there's that, and this whole time, Passepartout was like eavesdropping on this conversation. um, but and then he gets calls him over like, hey, come on up, go get the priest. We're getting married, today. Now is ASAP. Passepartout's like, oh, cool, awesome, be right back. So he runs out. And he sees one of these newspaper boys, and it's got like when they wore like the thing on the front, the thing on the back, and it's like Saturday results. And he's kind of walking past, and he looks back like, Saturday? Wait, because Fogg was thinking it was Sunday, but it's Saturday, and it's not even 9 a.m. yet. So he's like, wait a minute, we didn't lose the bet. Today's the 80th day. So grabs, pays for a newspaper because he's not a thief, runs back, bursts in the door. Fogg is pissed off. He's like, dude, you know better than to be bursting into rooms. What's wrong with you? He's like, it's Saturday. Fogg's like, it's not Saturday. I've been keeping track of every single day on this trip. And by my count, wait, today's the 80th day. So like then look at the clock, it's they've got like 10 minutes to get to the club, so he tells the princess, wait here, I'll be back. They both leave, can't get out of there fast enough, but then of course on the way there they keep getting stopped, and like this one lady stops him, and they're like these like Bible beater psychos singing songs. I would have clocked that bitch so hard and ran, but dude's too polite for that, and oh, it's very aggravating. It's like just run, just shove that woman over. You've got a bet. Everybody in town knows about this bet. They're gonna know you're gonna be in a hurry. Get these people out of your way, dude. Just run. Um, but it's again jumping over to the old men at the club, and they're standing around with their pipes and their drinks, and they're looking at the clock. And one guy's like, "Dude, just why not just call it? It's close enough. He's not here. Just say he didn't make it." Other guy's like, "No, no, no. We're gonna play the game. We're gonna do this right. We'll wait until the exact second." And so everybody's staring up at the clock. He's not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it. Everybody's staring, and then the shot changes too, like as if you were the clock seeing the room. So you're seeing the guys, and then you see some dude like step into the frame. You just kind of see the bottom of his feet, like stepping in right when the chimes start going off for 8:45, and there's fog. It's like, "Oh, gentlemen, I'm back." And they're just kind of looking at him like, like that's the last dude they expected to see. But dude won his bet. They can't do anything about it. And as they're kind of, admitting defeat, they look up where he just walked in, where Fogg just walked in from, and there's the princess standing there. There's another, good Lord, there's a woman in the club. That's never happened in the entire history of this whole establishment. So like, why is that bad? It's like, well, it would mean the end of the world. And the credits roll. Like it has the oddest ending. They just ended on that note. Literally that's it, like the end. Um I liked it. It's not something, again, it's not something I would have like immediately like run to watch, but it's not something that like I would have avoided. It was just there. I'm glad I saw it. Like I would like to, like I've seen Shirley MacLaine and other stuff, but like these actors I would like to see in other things now. It's cute that the way they interpreted a story from the 1800s in the 50s. And it's still like yeah, with the pastel and stuff, it did feel kind of 50s, but like costume wise and set wise, it did give me the feel that I was in another century. So like I get that, but uh, like you were dumb too was saying, like I see why it didn't make money. I see where the money went into making it. I see why people did not want to sit through it. Also, you got to consider it's the 50s, so film was competing very hard to get butts in the seats since TV was a thing. So I doubt TV shows are going to show you like that many scenes of like castles and in like the plains in India. So they wanted to show people something different, but it sounds like they were not into it. But that's okay. It's, there's a lot of movies that didn't do well at the time, but that are looked upon fondly now. Yeah, look at The Nightmare Before Christmas. That did not do well at the time, but you can't turn around without seeing it somewhere all year round. So it's sad for the actors if they're expecting to get a lot of kudos for a role and they don't. But it was entertaining. It did not feel like I was sitting there for 3 hours bored because they were always somewhere new. It's not like they were just going to the same three sets. So they kept it moving along. Again, after that, uh, just the bullfighting. It just kind of, I don't understand why it had to go on that long. It's just, but it doesn't ruin the film. I guess maybe I just if I appreciated bullfighting, I would like that more. But I I don't like rank these with a number system either. It's like I would watch it again. It's good. I would recommend it to. I wouldn't tell anybody to not watch it. Um, I do like it's. Of course, they're not going to take us. Say, get an actual like Indian actress to play the part Shirley MacLaine played back in the 50s. That's fine by me. You can have people who are not the color of the person they're supposed to be portraying playing that part because they're doing this thing called acting. And you can just use your imagination. And honestly, with Shirley MacLaine, all they just did, it just, I don't know what her eyebrows look like normally, but they just sort of like, just like crescent moons. There's just no, any additional shape to it. Lots of like brown in there. And I guess that makes somebody Indian if it's the 50s. That's all you had to do to look, quote unquote ethnic. But yeah, that's around the world in 80 days. And for a 3 hour movie, I covered most of it in roughly an hour and a half ish. That's not too bad. It was fun, especially that railboat thing. That was cute. Oh, let's find out if Shirley MacLaine is still with us. She better. I don't want to be. See, I'm afraid to bring up actors who are like elderly ever since somebody brought up that French guy, and literally within 24 hours we found out he passed away. Scorpio guy. Um, Shirley MacLaine is still with us. April 24th, 1934. So that's good. Yeah, I don't know what she gets up to these days. I'm glad she's still with us. Hopefully she's not taking any shots she doesn't need. That would not be good. So that was Tubi. And then for a December movie, I really do think, like I was saying before, I want to go through everything that we suggested for the last 2 months, pull some ideas out of that, and then get a poll up. It's kind of up in the air. Yeah, Lisa, yes, you better not drop off now. Yeah, if something happens to her in the next 24 hours, like there's gonna just have to be a new rule on the channel where we only talk about dead actors and actresses or people like who are under 30 or something like that because I don't want to be, I don't let me find out I have that power. Let me put it that way because I will use it. Since we do got a little bit of time here, I just want to mention the Friday show from Quite Frankly, since we did get the Tony Black Friday. Well, let me start out with Frank does this. He's got this backdrop that he uses before he starts the show around this time of year. It's like from inside of a storefront at Christmas time, and it's snowy, and then like you can see into a shop across the street, and you can see people moving around. It makes me feel like I'm watching In the Good Old Summertime. It's a Judy Garland film. It does have Buster Keaton in it as well. So when I saw him in this movie, I'm like, wait a minute! I saw him like in a speaking role, I should say, to differentiate between his what he's known for. But he is in this as well. So, but that backdrop reminds me of that film because like it does have like summertime in it. It does have Christmas time in it, so it covers the area of time. So it makes me think of that film. I really like it. Judy Garland's character in that film is a Capricorn, and you can kind of tell with her personality in it. That's cool. And like she does that "I Don't Care" song, very good. But I digress. Yeah, Tony Black. He's born in 1930. He's up there a little bit. He's been around. He could have his own channel. People would tune in for that. I guess he does like the fact that people do want to see him when he shows up to the studio. Like all he has to do is like he could just go live from his phone at home and just like talk about stuff from back in the day, put it on YouTube. It would get views. Like I would love to hear stories from him from like growing up back in the day and his boxing and even like meeting his wife and like raising his kids, stuff like that. Just how stuff was back then or how we grew up. You know, what was his favorite candy, all that stuff. Like I would love to hear that. But he just there's I guess there's an elevator for the building, so Frank asked for permission to use that, and then they just push a chair from the studio over so Tony can sit in it, and then he can wheel him in. And those floors, I because I was at the studio before, and I just kept staring at the floors because I remembered those and like the sound they made, like when they're rolling the wheels over it and walking on it, just took me back. So that was cool. I was buzzing off of that. Yeah, I grew up in East Harlem, and they were trying to get information out of him about a story, and he like repeated it a few times, but then they asked him about some guy he doesn't like, and he's like right there with the insults and like the attitude, because there's nothing better than when an old person hates another old person, because like they might be super nice about everything else in the world, but you ask them about Phil up the road and suddenly they can't stop swearing, and every bad thing, it's going to come flying out of their mouths. And because Tony's just this sweet old guy, and then Frank plays this video of like it's Tony Black, and then his mom's sitting behind him, filming, and like Tony must have seen somebody on the beach somewhere and just starts swearing and hollering at him. What was it? It's like fuck you, I'm here. I love that switch that happens at like nice old man to like New Yorker swearing at somebody. It's great. And when Frank was playing the video of like that, and then like of like wheeling him up into the studio, and Tony's like, "Hey, I'm a handsome guy. He's a Gemini. So, hell yeah, he's looking very good for his age." King 40. He grew up in East Harlem before it went bad. Ugh, yeah. Back when you could be like, "Oh, white people in Harlem." Oh, it was that long ago? Oh, and somebody said stomach cramps come from, I guess Frank had some stomach cramps on Thanksgiving, like, but then they went away. Somebody said, oh, when you have stomach cramps, it comes from nerves. Oh, Sandra Evans did. It's from the vagus nerve. Something about it being. I gotta look that up. Maybe I get some. Maybe that acts up for me sometimes. Oh, and then I did forget this. Like the show is 2 hours long, quite frankly, because of sponsors. That's why we went from 1 hour to two. I can't. It's been that long that I've forgotten, so I had to make a note of that. So yeah, we only have 2 hours of quite frankly, because if you do sponsor quite frankly, more power to you. That's why we have those 2 hours there. Sorry, I'm not one of you, but I take advantage of what you give us. I make the most of it. And I think Frank does want to do longer shows. The way his shows have been going longer the last 3 weeks, like it wouldn't take. I don't think it would take too much to try to get at least like maybe like even once a month. Like, hey, let's do a 2.5 hour show just to see how it goes, see how you feel at the end, and then like slowly inch our way up to vlog. It might take a couple years, but we can get there. If we start now, we can do it. But Frank, some girl called in talking about, because Frank mentioned doing like a birthday month thing. That's kind of lame, where you like celebrate your birthday for like, your birthday's in April, so you spend all of April celebrating your birthday. But this girl called in. I guess she does that. She's a Scorpio, and so she takes all of November for herself to do something. And then she ended up being like the 47th caller, so she won whatever Frank was giving away. So that was cool. Um, but I did do that once back. It was Capricorn, so not all of January. It was whenever Capricorn began in December of 2012, into 2013. That was my year 13, but for you that's when it was. So just all of Capricorn. That was just all for me. And I'm not saying like I like ate cake every day. I was super small back then. That's when I was hella skinny the first time. But I that's what I did buy. It was before my birthday. It was I think it was on Black Friday. I went to Walmart to get it was the box set of Fame by Lady Gaga. So it had like a tiny version of the perfume and lotion and body wash. And I still have the some of the perfume and the lotion actually. They still sell it. It's a little bit pricey, so I'm glad I still have mine because it still smells the same. King 40 Scorpios are retarded, but I like them. Lisa Great like Chillicoot Charlie Saloon in Anchorage. Their motto is "We cheat the other guy and pass the savings on to you." Yes, I like that. Scorpios, the thing with Scorpios is somebody went around and hyped them all up in the 60s, and now they've got this image that they're all cool. Not everything is always the same way. Like not every Capricorn is the same. Not every Virgo is the same. Not every Aries is the same. You get all kinds. You get if you meet somebody and you think, wow, this person is an airhead. Like not a dumbass, not a retard, not a fuck up or a screw up, but just an airhead. Find out their birthday. They're an air sign. I'm not saying all air signs are airheads. I'm just saying that's a specific kind. Air signs are it's a they're thinking sign. So you get the smart kind and you get the not smart kind. Scorpios, you get the fun, sexy kind, and then you get the ones who wish they were fun and sexy and they fail at it, and it's just very sad. And you just please stop. You're giving them a bad name. Say you're another sign if you're going to be like that. So it's different. You get and then if you're on the cusp, you're not going to be like a full blown. Like I'm on the cusp with Aquarius, so I'm not going to be like a Capricorn who's on the cusp with Sagittarius or a full blown Capricorn. That's just how it is. Scorpios are they just come on so serious, like they don't have a funny bone in their body. But if you get them laughing, then you're in there. King 40, I'm an air sign and an airhead. There you go. Just roll with it. Because nobody's going to do that better than an air sign. You can't be a water sign airhead. It doesn't work that way. If you're going to be stupid, be the best stupid you can be. No. We all have our dizzy moments. No, I did work with one girl. I didn't work with her. I went to school with her. I didn't think too much of her. She was a little bit bigger. I mean, I was bigger too, so I'm not just calling her fat. I was fat too. Um, but she hung around the blacks, and next thing you know, she was knocked up in high school and had a kid at like 16. Anyway, I ran into her a few years later. I was at work, and this chick walks in, and like it was vaguely familiar, like you recognize the face, but not the rest. And it's like, oh, and I think I knew her name at the time, so I said something. It's like, hi, oh yeah, didn't I go to school with you? Yeah, it's like, yeah, she just, I don't know, probably lost the weight, so I don't think she hung around with those folks anymore. Learned her lesson after she threw her life away. I'm glad she lost the weight. Maybe she should have had your shit together when you were 15. John Rogers, my last ex was a Scorpio and no control of spending money. Ooh, I couldn't deal with that. Yeah. I don't like that. I did date a guy who was not good with money. And then, of course, broke up. And then years later, dude's talking about he's on his Facebook with his GoFundMe, something like that. It was like bigger than the last time I saw him. Almost couldn't recognize him. Like, dude, I don't think money's you have the money, you're just spending it at Burger King instead of on your bills. I don't feel I got half of my planets in air signs, so don't worry about it. I can't do math anymore. I was trying to figure out how 200 grams of that pill powder, how many pills that would turn into. If 60 grams equals 120 pills, And then I couldn't figure out what 200 grams would equal in pills. Is it 400? That doesn't seem, and I didn't, I can't figure that out anymore. So I used to know that kind of stuff. I used to be able to do a little bit of math, a little bit of reasoning. That's gone away. That's just, what is it, 3 weeks now? Yeah, that's just not there. So I don't know. I'll just keep stuffing them into pills until I run out. Because the only reason I was getting on about that is because they're having that sale. Like, do I buy more? Is what I have gonna last? Because I can't stop taking it. I need to be able to see. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But this week coming up, it's just a regular Frankly week so far. There is that thing on Saturday. Again, Frank has not said what time that's going to be. Maybe he doesn't know what time it's going to be yet. Maybe that's some, you know what, I'll be fair. I'll be fair. It's not like he's like holding it back from us. Maybe they just haven't told him yet. But that being the case, let's say if I were to do a show, let's say Frank is going to go live at 7 p.m. on Saturday. What I could do, because I can't do, say, go live from 5 to 7 and then go to quite frankly because my equipment will catch on fire and then that's me having to run to the store and spend $1,000. I really shouldn't have to. Maybe not quite $1,000, but you know. So that would be too rough on my equipment. So what I would have to do instead is maybe do 2 hours. So I would be going from say like 4 to 6. That way I've got an hour in between to let my equipment cool down and then we could go to quite frankly. That would the only thing that would really I don't want to say interfere because it's always up because like the when Gray uploads GTA it's at 4 p.m. but you know again that's not going anywhere so it's not like I'm gonna miss it. Um I don't know about people's schedules. I don't know if folks would be want to be around their computers from 4 to 6. We'll have to wait and see when it gets closer because I couldn't go live afterwards just because I would be asleep. So that as much fun it would be as it would be to do an after show, I just don't. I'm not on like cocaine or anything, so I can't force myself to stay up like that. Lisa Gray, way back in the day, my idiot coke dealer ex accused me of taking exactly 1/8 out of his packaged grams. Stupid ass. I told the mathematical midget he should check his scales, dipshit. Dumbass. Erica Rambo, I'm a fire sign and an airhead. Go figure. LOL. You're all right. You're all right. Everybody's entitled to their slip ups. It's okay. Some people turn it into their whole personality. Just don't do that. That perpetual dumbass who just can't ever seem to get anything right. John Rogers, I watch So Dude from 2:30 until 6:30 on Saturdays. Yeah, see, I don't know if it would if I should or you know again I might just be you know what if other think Frank's dad does is not until like 9:30 then I'd be safe but it just depends on that I might cancel it like I had to do that one time in September and I mean that's fine it's just the one show. Erica he might be yeah Frank might have gotten knocked up maybe that's what the cramps are from. It's the quickening. Maybe you know what it is, Erica. Frank is getting the pregnancy pains from morning sickness, Matt. So the sympathy pains. They're just so close that you know one gets the contraction and then Frank feels the pain. Or a morning sickness Matt starts craving weird stuff and then there's Frank in his fridge at 3 in the morning eating pickles and uncooked hot dogs and drinking milk like it's nothing. King 40, I wouldn't trust any coke these days. Yeah, I better know a few folks on the way up to the supply. I don't know what's in this. John Rogers, I like the classic rock stream. That's cool. I cannot imagine going to a stream that would play the music that I listen to. I mean, I could play the music I listen to, but I don't know if it would be. It's remixes, so I don't know if it would be copyright stricken. But then again, I don't want to like piss off all of these random YouTubers. Like, I'm not stealing your stuff. I swear to God. So the next Saturday show is up in the air. But again, let me. I'll go through the movies here. See if I can get four good ones together. Yeah, possibly get a poll put out. That way, at least by the 14th, we'll have something finalized. That way, we will have the end of December to watch whatever that is. And then, if you do want to suggest anything, if it's on YouTube and it's free, go ahead. Or if it's on Tubi, you can suggest that in the comments of this video. And Tubi is a free app. You can watch it on your phone, you can watch it on your smart TV, and everything in between. It has everything the other companies didn't want. So it has these B movies, black and white films, silent films, movies about TV shows, full on TV shows, and they're doing very well because of it. Erica Rommel. Just saw Alaska. OMG. Yeah, it took me a while to wrap my head around the fact that Lisa lives up in Alaska. Pluto is free too. Yeah, Pluto. I don't know if it's Pluto TV or just Pluto, but that is free also. I haven't checked it out, but I do know it's free, and I've got that in my pocket right now. Especially since I bought a couple of shirts. And I don't know when those are going to show up because when I was ordering them, it had estimated delivery time between whatever dates in December. And I'm like, cool. So I order them and then place it. And it's like, okay, I've got my confirmation number. I got the email, but then it just says, we'll send you an email when we mail it out. Okay, but like when exactly is that delivery time? So like I tried putting something else in the cart to see if that would show me a delivery time and it doesn't. So like it's not a rush. It doesn't, I'm not gonna die if I'm not gonna freeze to death if I don't have like a t-shirt in a week. So if it takes them, it's not gonna take them that long to be honest. Like I might be here in a week, but if it takes them longer, that's fine. Oh, the pet channel is my favorite on Pluto. One to go to. How you doing? Aw. That's one thing. If you do watch pet videos, any kind of animal videos, cute videos on YouTube, as soon as you're done, go to your history and erase it from your watch history. Otherwise, you're just going to get nothing but cute animal video recommendations for the rest of your life. So if you learn how the recommendations work, you learn what to take out of your recommendation, not recommendations, but what you viewed. I can't erase my viewing history because then I wouldn't know where it was, so that's not an option for me. But there's certain things I don't want recommended. So like if a friend recommends a song, you don't listen to it. Be polite and then get it out of your watch history. You don't want anything more from that artist, anything else like that, erase it. Or if you are getting cute animal videos, just scroll back till you find the one that you watched and get rid of it. King 40, that would be the Somalian channel. Lisa Gray, speaking of teas, going to go buy some. Take advantage of the QF sale deals. Yeah, check out, quite frankly, .tv, or you can just go to the link in the description. I believe it's riseattire.com/quite frankly. Frank's sale is going on until Monday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. You can save 15% on all of the shirts, 20% if you spend at least $100. Gray Still Plays is Black Friday is the code. It doesn't have a date as to when that ends. I don't know if it's still going on. It was still going on when I put it in the description this morning. Hopefully it's still going on. It goes on through Monday. That seems to be about 10% off, but that still is a good deal. And both of those places, when you get shirts from them, they don't print them in bulk. They wait for you to order it, they print it, and then they send it. I went to go to. Good to see you, Nikki. Been a while since I've caught you live. Since the Zell's on Miss Shorty, perhaps. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. Okay. Frank Zell. I couldn't have canceled the show if I wanted to, but at 7 p.m. today, 2 hours ago, Frank Zell was going to be probably both. They were going to be on a channel. Let me look this up. Like, it's probably a channel that you've heard of before, or something that Frank's brought up before. It's okay. I'm at inthezeller.com. Hold on. Let me just go there. What if it's still going on? It might still be going on. Oh shit. Now I gotta subscribe to this damn channel to talk in it. Motherfucking. I hate when people subscribe to chat. You subscribe to a channel for 5 minutes and it lets you chat. Just yeah, the UN shirt is great, John Rogers. Okay, this is J is for Justice podcast. They've got it's John Bonet, Darkness and Boulder. Streaming live, special guests in the Zeller. It appears to still be live right now. That's the Zells. It's one of them. It's both of them. It's some of the Zells. So that's going on. Because there's like a Jean Benet Ramsey miniseries on Netflix. I think it came out this week. I do want to. This is the first time I've mentioned it. I do want to check it out just because I've like heard of the Zells, just to compare it like fiction to facts. And then if it's 3 episodes, they're like an hour each. I know it's a Netflix thing; you got to pay for Netflix, but I do kind of want to bring it up here if it's worth talking about. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, the Zells are live right now. You have to subscribe to that channel to comment on it. But I think I want to go check that out on my phone just to see what they're doing. I don't know the channel. I just know the Zells, and they're great people. And I do want to catch the full episode, after the fact to see what they talked about, because those guys are entertaining and they talk about some dark stuff. So yeah, I'm glad you did make it. One to go to. I'm glad you guys had some time to talk about a movie on a Saturday. This was fun. I'm excited to find out the next one you guys are gonna pick. That was very cool. So yeah, check out the any of these, quite frankly, affiliates. If you want to get your hands on some merch, you can buy it now and tell yourself later it's a Christmas present or a birthday present to justify the purchase, and to not be a fucking loser for not having any, quite frankly, merch. No, it's okay. You don't have to spend a penny to support a channel. All you have to do is you can like videos, you can comment after they end, make sure you're subscribed with all notifications on, and share the videos if you're so inclined. Lisa Gray enjoyed the movie rundown. Nikki, glad to have spent this time with you and the gang. Love and light. See you on the flip side. Yeah, thank you. See you later. Can't wait to watch this back, see if I did a good job. It was fun to watch. It was fun to talk about, so I hope that comes across. It was a cute movie. Good recommendation, you guys. So yeah, hit the like button on the way out. Don't forget your pants, just because I'm not sure exactly when the next show is gonna be. And the price of the washers is going up a quarter. That's so stupid. I don't know why. It's not like they get maintained a fabulous amount. They work, they work. They're not junky, but it's fine. That's why I've got my own dryer. So yeah, everybody have a good meal, get some good sleep, watch some movies if you're a movie watching type. If not, you can watch somebody play video games or talk about politics. Oh, King 40 did a great job. Did a great job, Nixter. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It was a cool movie. So yeah, everyone, stay warm. Not digging this cold. My knees have been cold the entire. I wonder what the temperature is. It gets like down to like about 75 in here. Yeah, have a great night, John Rogers. And we'll give quite frankly a good listening to next week, and just run from there. We've got some movies in our future. We've got some merch in our future. And then we're definitely going to be spending Christmas together. Well, I'll be here. I don't know where you guys are going to be, but I'll be live. I would not want to be anywhere else doing anything else than going live for you guys. This is the best outcome for myself I could have imagined. So I'm glad you guys are letting me do something that I want to do, and I hope you guys are having fun doing it because it's any hassles and things that are annoying don't matter in the grand scheme of things because it's fun to be here. It's fun to be in front of you guys, and I know you guys are having a good time. So thank you all. Thanks for the folks watching on Twitch too. I know I'm not simulcasting there yet, but folks do watch me from Twitch incognito. So what's up to them? I want to go to, been wanting to mention to you, Nikki, that there's only a small handful of Franklies remaining on Twitch. If it wasn't for the fantastic mods, Genie Yankee fan and Viola Girl, I'd be really sad. Oh, yeah, there is a solid group of regulars over on Twitch. Anytime I take a peek over there, I always see it's like the same handful of folks chatting away the whole show. I do need to I'm getting used to the fact that I gotta wear a hat for the show while my eyes are getting better, but then I do want to watch two chat rooms. So I do want to get, YouTube and Twitch going on this at the same time while I'm at Quite Frankly. Just got to get my head to wrap around that. Let me try again on Monday, see if I'm able to get into the groove with that. But yeah, there is a solid group of folks over on Twitch. You just have to watch on like Rumble or quite frankly TV somewhere else. But that is the room to be in since it never closes. It's open at 4 o'clock in the morning when nobody's up. All right, yeah, I love seeing all you guys. I hope you guys had fun. And take another hit at those Thanksgiving leftovers, and then maybe start the diet up again on Monday. Give yourself an extra day. Do some Black Friday shopping as long as it's from your home safely, and be careful if you do have to go out. All the psychos are out, but the rest of the psychos are inside online where we belong. Yeah, is that it? I think that's it. That might be it. I worry about repeating myself if I haven't watched my previous show, so I don't know if I'm saying anything I said 2 days ago. I'll have to watch that one back. But the one before that I just watched, that was very good. It kind of chilled me out. I've never been like chilled out by my own show before, so I think I'm getting what you guys get about this place being cozy. Like I was feeling that. Okay, yeah, let's see if the elves are still live. And have a great night. Till next time.